Hello and welcome to my channel, Inspiring Life Changes. My name is Colette and I am here today to do a reading for all Tauruses. It's a general reading, so it won't resonate with all Tauruses out there. But this reading is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. So if it does resonate with you, please take it as you find it. Use that particular card. If it doesn't resonate with you, then please try one of the other signs for your sun, one of the other readings, sorry, for your moon, Venus and rising, because you may find that that message will resonate with you better. I know for myself, I often find that my rising sign makes more sense to me than my actual sun sign does, so I tend to watch both. Okay, we have 3 more cards. Please like, subscribe and tap the bell to receive more readings if you enjoy this one. I tend to like to focus on the cards as I'm shuffling them rather than just be talking. I need one more card. Universe, one more card. Oops, and they gave me more than one. Yep, they've given me 5. So we'll take the top one and we'll put those 4 over there and we'll look into them later. But the first card that we have here is the 3 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles is an interesting card because it's at the heart of your reading, Taurus, and it's saying that this is a time where you are in a position of receiving back for what you've given out previously in the past. So it's a card of how can you put it? The receiving doesn't necessarily come from the same source that you yourself gave to, and it's a realization that everything can flow. It's all swings and roundabouts. It doesn't have to be that you give one person something and then they give it back to you, and that you can't receive something from somebody else. It's a card of saying that, you know, help comes from all different sources, and it's being able to open ourselves up to allow ourselves to accept that and not see it as a charity, and not be kind of too proud to accept help when help is there for us to receive it. And to remember also that when we are in that position of being able to help others, that we too can then do the same. So it's like paying it forward in many ways, the 3 of Pentacles. And that's what's at the heart of your reading at the moment, a situation of accepting and benefiting from that acceptance. What's in your head and what's above you right now is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is a very fast, quick moving action card. It's go, 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 go. Now, 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 now. No slowing down, no stopping, no thinking. It's very much about thinking on your feet. It is kind of like, you know, changing your mind constantly from one thing to another, not being able to kind of settle on anything for too long. It's like, you know, you have one idea and then that idea may just like be thrown out the window, and all of a sudden you're off on a new path in a new direction, and it's constant. It's like boom, 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 boom. No rest, no stopping. Just keep going, and the storm in the background is kind of the intellect. It's like the kind, it represents that kind of airiness, that kind of yeah, storm clouds, the kind of turbulence of the mind in this particular card. The turbulence, there's no kind of peace, there's no serenity. It's all very turbulent and all very charging, full steam ahead in a new direction, or many new directions, not being able to make your mind up. Very Gemini card. It has the twins sitting on the horse. A need to think on your feet, really. A need to be able to make decisions and then change them almost instantly. Like, you know, you think you've got it pinned down, and then it's like something else comes in and goes, right, throw that one out, let's do it this way. So lots of fast changing, quick thinking, turbulent kind of head energy, head space at the moment. And where that's coming from, underneath all that, we have the Judgment card. Now, the Judgment card is the magician in his greater form. It's Hermes. This is the messenger of the gods, Hermes. And he holds in his hand the Caduceus. He is the creator, in many ways, of medicine. He was very much to do with the medical world, Hermes, and because he's the messenger of the gods, he's also Mercury. So he passes the messages from one planet to the next. He speeds about doing what he needs to do. And in this particular card, the Judgment, Hermes here is calling the dead up, the ghosts from the past. And he's saying it's time to let these go. These ghosts need to be let go of. And you may find yourselves, because it's very much an inner card as well, it's like the garden is out here, and the two towers represent a kind of gateway that we need to go through in order to get there, and the steps here which represent going down into the underworld. So this is all very inner stuff, the Judgment card. It's all about very much that kind of inner workings of our progress in life, when it comes to clearing out the past, calling the dead up to rise. You may find, you know, we're doing the simplest of tasks like the washing up or sweeping the pathway in the garden or anything like that, but all of a sudden we will be drawn to an experience of something that happened in our past, something that's kind of not let us rest, something that we've been holding on to that has had a profound effect on us usually, which is the reason that we haven't let it go, is because it has had such a profound effect on us. And we need to forgive, really. This is one of the major criteria, I suppose, in some ways, to do with the Judgment card, is a forgiveness. And it's not only forgiving the situation and the people that were involved in those situations, but there's also a need here to forgive ourselves and the part that we may believe that we have played in all of this as well. And if we don't believe that we've played a part in it, then we still need to forgive ourselves, because we will have played a part in it. So nothing ever happens separately on its own. Everything is connected, and this card kind of reminds us of the connections of everything that happens in our life. One thing leads to another, leads to something else. So the Judgment card is calling up the dead to rise. so that we can forgive, forget and let go. In this card we see the Lovers, and this is what's moving away. This is the past. It's what's leaving. And poor old Troy here, with his golden apple, was given the task by Zeus, the king of the gods, to choose between the three goddesses who were all trying to make Zeus choose between the three of them who was the most beautiful. And Zeus, knowing how much trouble that would cause him if he did, passed that little challenge over to Troy. And Troy, being young, enthusiastic, exuberant, passionate, didn't think logically or rationally. We have Hera here, who offered Troy all the knowledge of the world. She holds the world in her hand, and she offered Troy the knowledge of the world. Athene here, goddess of wisdom and strategy, she offered Troy all the knowledge of battle and war and how to outsmart your opponent in war. And Aphrodite didn't offer much really, apart from opening her cloak up and revealing her naked body and telling Troy that if he chose her, he would win the most beautiful woman in the world, which at that time was Helen, who, sorry, this isn't Troy, his name's Paris. Sorry, I'm getting confused here. This is Paris. But Helen of Troy was who he won. He won Helen of Troy as his prize for picking Aphrodite as being the most beautiful of the goddesses, which in itself caused huge amounts of trouble because Helen belonged to somebody else at the time. So that caused the Battle of Troy, the War of Troy, with the horse. And the death of hundreds and thousands of people that needn't have died if Paris had thought rationally. So the Lovers card is kind of saying it's a representation. It's who we choose as our partner, as our lover, as a part of ourselves, reflects a part of who we are, the person that we choose to be with in our life. We make those choices, and we don't always make those choices from the right way of thinking. We sometimes just make them because we're sexually attracted to somebody, or we don't have an emotional attachment to somebody, but they may have a lot of money and they might be able to, like Hera, offer us all the worldly goods that we think we need. Or like Athena here, we may not want to have deep emotional relationships. We may want relationships that are more on the surface, not real deep relationships. So we would choose somebody who can give us that, you know, more of a mind thing rather than a physical or emotional thing. So this is what the Lovers card is saying. It's saying be careful of your choices when you choose who. And we can't always choose. That's another thing as well, because it's not logical. Love isn't necessarily a logical thing at all. We just go with our feelings. That's really what the whole story is about with Paris. He just went with how he felt. He saw Aphrodite and he just wanted what he saw. And that's often the case when it comes to relationships, but that can cause problems later down the line. And what's moving in, talking about problems later down the line, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a card of behaving in a manner that's not very open, shall we say. It's here in this particular card, you can see the swords that he's carrying over his back here are making him, it's almost like he looks like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of demon, some kind of, his shadow looks like a, you know, it's spiky, you wouldn't want to mess with that. And it's a card of kind of holding your own cards close to your chest. It's not letting the other person know what you're doing, and you may be, like, you know, doing something very sort of deceptive with the moon in the background here. There is a sense of something not being open, not being honest, not being put out in the light. It's all very undercover, very secretive, very sneaky kind of behavior. So there could well be this kind of sense of behaving in a manner that you don't necessarily want to sometimes as well, but the situation may call for you to have to behave in that fashion, even though you're not particularly feeling that that's the right thing to do. It may not sit naturally with you, but sometimes that energy is something you need to do. You need to hold your cards close to your chest sometimes. But also this card can relate to a situation where somebody is being dishonest with you. Somebody is not giving you the whole truth. And with the Lovers moving out here, there could be a situation here, Taurus, where you're feeling as though you're not being given all the information that you need, that there's something going on that's not open, clear, honest. And there could be a situation where you're feeling that, you know, your money, you're having to be careful with your money, and you're needing to let go of this person that's causing you grief and bad situations that arise in your life that you don't want to be in. So I get the feeling that somehow it's a situation where somebody's got caught up in something they don't want to be in, but now they're caught up in it. They've got to kind of go through with it. They've got to see it through, because there is no other way to get out of it in the long term. And we have the Six of Swords turning up after that. So it's saying that there is a way out. There will be a way out, even though it's upside down. It's in reverse. It's saying that there is a way forward, but in order to get to that way forward, you might have to go through this first, and that will kind of push you forward, push you into this situation of having to leave this behind. And it's reversed because it doesn't feel that it's that you're moving away from something in a, how can I put it, in a satisfied fashion. I mean, often with this card, it's moving away from a situation into calmer, clearer waters, and this is like the future, and this is the more serene, calm waters, and you're kind of being pushed forward into them because of what's happened in the past. It's almost like the waves represent the emotions of the past. But because it's upside down, it's sort of saying that although this is happening, there's not this feeling of serenity that you kind of get with the Six of Swords. This kind of knowing that you are moving into something that's much better, although you are going to be moving into something better, there's also this feeling of like, did I do the right thing? There's not a complete sense of having achieved what you achieved in the necessarily what's the word I'm looking for? Necessarily happy. It's not happy. It's kind of necessarily honest. This word that keeps coming up in my head is like an honest way. It's like it leaves a taste in your mouth, if you know what I mean. It's like it doesn't feel right to you. It doesn't feel like that you've done the right thing, almost that, you know, you shouldn't be able to move away from it. And there we have the Ten of Cups upside down. So this is kind of telling me that there is a situation here where the Lovers, the Ten of Cups, has become something other than it was, because the choice that was made was not particularly a good choice. And this need here to get away from it, to be fast thinking, to not stay in one place, because there is a situation here where you thought that this person was somebody else. You thought that they were your perfect partner, your perfect match, your happy ever after. But in fact, it turned out to be a bit of a nightmare, and it didn't work out the way you wanted it to. And not only did it not work out the way you wanted it to, you also had to behave in a manner and a fashion to get away from that situation that did not sit well with you. Just did not sit well with you. Did not want to do it. Whatever that is. There's a feeling of having to leave something in a kind of not very pleasant fashion, I would say. And the next card you have is the card of the Five of Cups. Again, it's reversed. So there is this feeling of betrayal, that somebody has really betrayed you, that you feel so hurt by this person that you trusted. And there they are. If you look at it this way up, it's like they're leaving the room. They've left the scene. They've kind of, cups have been spilt. There's 4 cups here. There is still 1 cup left standing, which means that there is always a possibility of resolving situations like this. But sometimes it's best to just cut your losses and run. And with this particular situation, I get the feeling that you may want to see if you can resolve it, but in the long run it might not work out for you, Taurus. It might be best to just say, okay, that was an experience. Now it's time for me to move on with the Judgment card here. Forgive, forgive, forget, let go. That's the source of the situation. It's the root cause. It's the underneath. It's the subconscious. Move away. Leave the situation. And that's exactly what the Eight of Wands here is saying. Move away. Go and find some fun. Go and find a place where you can heal, be yourself, love life again, because that's really, the dolphins down here are the most playful of creatures. They love just like the spray of the water. They just love playing in it. They just love company. They're very sociable animals. They're very intelligent animals. And the boat here is saying, like, it's time to just get out of that situation. Out of that situation. Just keep heading forward. It's upside down though, so it's saying that You may not find it easy to do this. This may not be an easy thing for you to do. And it may take time for you to be able to move beyond this. My cat has just jumped on the table, I'm afraid. Mibbly. Hello, baby. Yes, look, your towel is in the way. Hello. I know. I'll be with you in a bit. So, yeah, the need here is to learn to love life again. Learn to play and love life again. I'm going to move her out of the way because she can get right in the way sometimes. Off the cards, Pusscat. Off the cards. No, no, no. Come on. Come on. So, the last card I'm going to pull for you, Taurus. Let me just remove my cat. Right. No. Out the door. Sorry about that. Luckily it was at the very end of the reading. Otherwise they would have been spread everywhere. I don't think she was coming in. So I am going to pull a Ask and It's Given card for you, Taurus, to see what the advice is. These cards are created by Esther and Jerry Hicks with the wisdom and the teaching of Abraham Hicks. If you don't know who he is, I would suggest you go online and look him up, and look up Esther Hicks as well. And the channeled energy that Esther Hicks has been channeling for a good while now, over 10 years, probably more. And the card that you have here is Success is about the joy I feel. So it's saying, when you are genuinely thrilled by someone else's success, that means you are right on the track of your own. Success is not about getting it done. The measure of success in life is not the attainment of the money or the stuff. The measure of success is absolutely the moment of joy you feel. And I think on some level here, with the money, I think there may be a situation where somebody's just having to cut their losses and just get out of a situation that is just not healthy for them, and find that joy again. Find that joy in life. Find whatever it is that makes you smile, makes you happy, because that's the way to your success. It's through the joy of living, through the joy of knowing that life is okay, and that it's okay to enjoy life. So I'm going to leave the reading here, Taurus. Say thank you very much for watching. I will be doing more readings, and I'm wishing you all the best. I hope this situation works out for you, and much love and blessings.